Welcome back to the Geelong Cricket Show on this Saturday morning. Yes, the beginning of the 2010 part of our season. Lords of Cricket. Well, if you didn't get one for Christmas, there's someone who has answered last year's question, the last question of last year, very correctly. Matthew Emmett out of Newcomb. Lords of Cricket game on your way, because the 4 games of cricket that are being played in one on Lords of Cricket are the tradition of Test cricket, the thrill of one-day cricket, the excitement of 2020 cricket, and the family fun of backyard cricket. Now, Matthew, enjoy it. And if you want a chance to win, we want you to tell us who was the first Australian batsman to make a Test century this summer. And you send your entry into www.guestmedia.com.au. Press the Contact Us tab, enter your answer, whiz it off, and you could be in the draw for a game of Lords of Cricket. And don't forget that there's proceeds of the major part of the proceeds go to the Steve Waugh Foundation. Turning our attention to our special guest, Scott Mullen from Newtown Chilwell. Scotty, a club with great tradition, great history, and at the present time going through what would think some difficult times. How's the club coping?
Yeah, look, we're travelling along pretty well off the field, Rollo. We're coming up into our 100th year next season, which got a lot of big things planned for that, to have a fair celebration with that. So hopefully we can just make sure we do the right things this second half of the season. We've had a pretty rough year and obviously haven't had the results we would have liked. Unavailabilities and injuries have really hurt us badly in the first half of the season, but hopefully we can start off today on the right note.
Let's have a look at Stinton Oval as part of the Queen's Park complex. GT, Graham Taylor, puts up a great effort every year, every day, every week, putting his effort into the wicket down at Stinton Oval. The new club rooms that have had extensions that shared between Newtown Chilwell Cricket Club and the Geelong Amateurs Football Club. It's a great arena for cricket. Yeah,
absolutely, Graham. We've been very fortunate over the last few years with the funding and the work that's gone in from City of Greater Geelong to get the facilities that we do have. There's no doubt that the ground is second to none in GCA cricket, that's for sure, and probably even better than a lot of Premier grounds.
You'd imagine too, Scott, it'd be being looked at towards the end of the season again for a final. Obviously, I think hosted was it Division 2 first final last year? Oh, no. Hosted one of the finals last year.
Yeah, we had the Division 1 second 11 final, obviously with the first 11 being held down at Geelong. We'd certainly hope that we're right up there in the mix. I'm assuming that the first 11 one will be down at Geelong once again, so we'd certainly hope to be getting some first 11 finals the first 2 weeks as well, given that the Highland Gathering is no longer at Stinton Oval.
You mentioned how solid the club is off the field. A lot of people probably don't look past the results that you're having, which obviously aren't that great on the field, but obviously a very sound administration that you do have up there, and the club's certainly run very well.
Yeah, absolutely, Tim. As I say, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of good people involved over a long period of time now, and really get the club running in the right direction off the field. And we've now got some terrific young juniors coming through and starting to see some results. In the last 2 rounds before Christmas, whilst we may not have got the points on the field, we certainly saw a lot of improvement in a lot of those young guys, and it was terrific to see them coming through and getting the experience into some of these young kids like your Anthony Wilson, Tom Beaumont, all these sort of guys.
And, you field a full entourage of senior players throughout all levels of the senior competitions. Your juniors are equally as strong. Your junior development has always been a strength in the club, continuing to go that way?
Yeah, absolutely, Graham. What we've decided to do is, rather than go out and recruit 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys to walk straight into your first 11, we try and bring them through our junior development programs. And as I say, we're just starting to see the results of some of those young kids coming through now, and you can see with each week them growing in confidence and will be very good cricketers for the Two Blues.
And I think this is one of the fundamentals that people from our viewing area must understand is that it's not something that happens overnight. It is a 5 to 6 year plan with your junior development and your pathways.
Yeah, you're right, Graham. It is something that you can't just push a button and all of a sudden the results start coming. It is something that takes a lot of time. You've got to spend a lot of time nurturing these kids and teaching them the ways to go about their game.
You know a little bit, Scott, obviously having been involved in the GCO, about the relegation and promotion fight, and Your own club's in it at the moment, I guess. It's going to be a pretty close battle, and it all depends on whether the GCA decides to put Thompson as well up, who look like being the club that's really pushing for promotion at the end of the season. Is there any concern within the club at all about the potential to be playing Division 2?
Yeah, look, by all means, we've certainly had a good look at it over the break and sat down and done our own analysis on exactly where we're at in terms of promotion, relegation and points and whatnot. We think there's probably 3, possibly 4 clubs who are all in the mix to be that one that will go down. And so we've just got to make sure that we get out now in the second half of the season and get the wins on the board and ensure that it's not us that goes down.
But the important point there, viewers, is that we talk about promotion, relegation, but the Geelong Cricket Association assessment criteria process, performance, although it is a major part of the decision-making process, it's not the only part, and that's why, again, harken back to your wonderful facilities and your junior development program and your off-the-strength field as far as administration is concerned.
Yeah, that's right. The assessment criteria, whilst it does have a component that is on club championship and playing, it also has a large facet of it that is about the administration of the club and whether players have been fined, what your facilities are, how many sides you field, all of those types of things. So there's certainly, and that's one thing that we're very proud of over the last, certainly in the last 5 or 6 years, that we haven't lost a point off field in that assessment.
I mentioned, Scott, that you're involved in the GCA, obviously stepping away from the Board of Management a little bit earlier in the year. Still very content with that decision to step down and just focus on your role with Newtown? Yeah,
absolutely, Tim. It was something that at the time there was a few things that obviously I didn't agree with. More than happy to step back and just concentrate on putting my efforts into what we can do down at Queen's Park.
So far this season, Newtown and Chilwell, okay, you haven't had the success on the field, but looking at the opposition clubs that you've played against, who do you rate?
It's a hard one. There's a fairly mixed bag out there, and I think at the top of the table it's going to be fairly tight. I don't think that there's anyone that we've seen so far that is a real standout, head and shoulder, clear cut, that yep, they're going to be premiers or whatever. I think it's going to be an interesting final series.
Because one of the features, or maybe not so much a feature of the GCA draw this year in Division 1, is that you don't get to play each club twice.
No, that's right, and that's happened a lot over the last few years. There is 2 clubs that you'll play twice, and we've probably copped the rough end of the stick a little bit, I guess, in regard to the draw this year, that we play the 2 grand finalists from last year in Gravedale and Geelong West twice, but that's just the way the coin goes, I suppose.
And with your game again today, looking forward to getting back on the park?
Yeah, definitely. We're all refreshed after the break and really looking forward to getting out there and posting a good score and get some points on the board.
How are you enjoying your own game?
Yeah, getting there. I struggled early in the year, had a couple of problems with a calf injury in pre-season, which hampered me a bit. But the last 2 or 3 games, I started to get back into the rhythm of it again. And the old body's not quite what it used to be and doesn't pull up quite as well. But yeah, there's still a little bit of life left in me yet.
The old body's not quite like it used to be, yes, that rings true. We're not like Tim Michell, the young up-and-coming youngster. We'll go to a break on the Geelong Cricket Show. We'll be back to look at the Geelong Cricket Association after speaking with Scotty Mullen from the Newtown and Chilwell Cricket Club after this.